Check. Check, check, check. All right, everybody. Yep, it is the live post-match fan reactions. If you can hear me, put some ones in the chat. But, yep, Mike is away on baby duty. Actually, well, he's coming now, apparently. So he's going to join. But he will be the guest this time. But, oh boy, yes, Nick in the ATL. Yes, well, here we are. Joshua Ilse, or Ilse? Way they keep losing. The Watching Crows. What's up, AJ? What's up, Watching Crows? And, yeah, it is a larger issue than we all feared, didn't we? You know, formation change, not really a solution. Anything really of substance to talk about in this match, we'll get to it, but spoiler alert, there's not a ton. It is, as advertised in this title, unwatchable garbage. There's just, these patterns of play are so predictable, and it's tiring to watch. It is to a point where, yeah, apathy is absolutely setting in for a lot of fans. I wish it wasn't the case, but what else can fans do at this time when you're winless in 6? You haven't really scored from open play in quite some time, except for this own goal. I mean, we're counting these, I guess, but yeah, it's one of these. It's pretty embarrassing. Own goal is the second leading scorer on the team. This time not from Saba, but it is from the right side. So there is that. Yeah, the Watching Crows, the team has a cultural issue, or culture issue. Can't read tonight. Joshua Ilse, way Atlanta United lost again. Delete the club, SMH, says Jack Dickens. Yep. It's getting to that point, right? Arthur Blank. Sim to the end, huh? Just, let's just start anew. Lorraine Lowe says, it's a chore watching this week in, week out. I think the caveat is that, thank heavens, this was a 2:30 match. Because imagine watching this on a Saturday night, and then, yeah, you know, what do you do with the rest of your night? You're just in this sour mood, and, you know, maybe you went to the game. I know, Nick, you went to the game. Nick in the ATL. I love Chicago, so it's probably worth the trip. But, yeah, to lose to a team that was winless in 6 as well. And, yeah, they broke their duck at home, too. Fantastic. They were winless this year at home. Guess who they did that against? Atlanta United. Just seems like we're the team that either are the first or break people's ducks. And, you know, a lot of homegrown score against us. I mean, that 19-year-old almost scored against us with a almost worldy of a shot. Like the outside of the boot, edge of the box, almost beat Braguzan, but he was equal to it, thankfully. But there were a couple other chances, too, that, whew. I mean, we have to talk about the Moranchuk handball. Diabolical. He had two cracks at handballing it, and he did it twice. What are you doing? Like, actively playing against your own team in the box. Like, it's just speechless. Like, this man is a professional football player. Yeah. Let's see what else the chat is saying. Joshua Ilse. Help me pronounce your last name. I'll just say Joshua for now on. But how keep Atlanta keep winning? Okay. Kyle, team needs energy. Play Togashi with the front line. At this point, you might need to. He can at least press. We know that. He was played in midfield in one of the games that he played. Showed a pretty decent outing there. Kyle Apgar says, we didn't even score a goal. We needed the Fire's help to get it. Exactly. Singular Kyle says, just sell Moranchuk and put both him and us out of our misery. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is really that. Like, the man is prolonging our misery. He played the entire 90 again. Yes, he did cause the own goal. But, yeah, do we see enough fight from this guy? That he's actually actively playing for Atlanta United. I think a lot of fans would argue that is absolutely not the case. Yes. Greg Ty says Alexei a liability. Jack Dickens says, I gotta sneeze. Maybe I can get that sneeze out before. No, don't lose it. Oh, okay. Damn. Ain't that the worst? Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it comes back. But, yeah, Jack Dickens says, bro is so shit, he handballed it twice. Yeah. Kyle Apgar says, also, Moranchuk made a deliberate handball. Yep, indeed. Nick in the ATL, I will be giving my opinion shortly. Yes, you will. Garrett says, I feel like we're being outcoached every game by mediocre coaches. That being said, key players aren't living up to their standards. Absolutely, that is the case. But it is also the 75th minute is when Ronnie Dyla decided to make the first change. Did he see enough in that first 75 that he was like, you know what? Just keep the status quo. We're good here. Like, I get it that we were only one goal down, and I guess defense was holding fort enough, but you need to score on the road. We were 1-0 down already. Like, you absolutely need to score. And yet, I don't think the players were given enough time. So it's actively, not only are the players themselves not doing enough to win the game, but the coach himself is not making enough moves when things are not working. And yes, we changed a little bit of the formation like we had pointed out in 5 Star Weekly, where there are some certain changes to, I guess, the way we play a little bit. But yeah, the 4-4-2, not enough. Not enough. I mean, it is one game, but yeah, having Miggy in the box is smarter. Yes, Pedro Amador is a big miss on the left. Ronaldo Hernandez, I mean, just nothing there. Nothing there in this match at all. And, I mean, we just keep pumping in crosses from the right. And it's just, how many years of this can we see? It's just the same thing on the right. And it's just not interesting. And it's not effective either. Okay, let's see. What else in the chat here? Jack Dickens says, this team needs major surgery. It's not even funny. Chris Wary says, I intentionally did not watch the game today, but did listen to it on the radio the old school way. R.I.P. your ears. Yeah, just like R.I.P. our eyeballs. Like, man. Kyle says, never seen so many shots into the side net. Yeah, there were quite a few very errant shots. I mean, Derek Williams hit the woodwork pretty much at the end as well. It's tough, man. Like, we also aren't getting the rubber of the green as well. Yes, that does come down to quality. And, yeah, if you're relying on your center back to score, well, then you have bigger problems. And Emmanuel Atl gets another yellow, too, but he also didn't get a goal. He's now, I think, five games, I think, without scoring. Maybe 6. Like, it ain't pretty. There's just no service for him. Yeah, there's, a little bits of some action in the box for him, but clear-cut chances, not really. Crowded out completely. Nothing really to say, like, oh, yeah, Manuel Atl, he had some golden chances. He didn't really have anything to sniff at. And that's terrible when you have a very clinical striker. But you cannot find him in the box. Hell, you can't even find him outside of the box. Like, he has to come deep a little bit just to get into the game. Like, it's... Like, if Moranchuk can't be feeding him, then he shouldn't be in the game. What else is he there for? Kyle Apgar says, I wonder if Moranchuk is doing whatever it takes to get out of here because I feel he was forced here by Atalanta because they were able to offload him for good money. I mean, it probably is to a degree. But, yeah, I mean, Atalanta, I think if you're Atalanta, yes, you take the money and run absolutely every time. But he was a player that was, obviously was productive for them. But, in this Atlanta United squad, it's obviously a misfit. We're closing in on a year where it just does not make sense. Like, where and how does he fit into a squad like this in a winning squad? Hell, even a scoring squad. Kyle says, to be fair, Dial teams sucked the first year. Here's to 2026. Well, they suck for a little bit, and then they kind of figure it out. Now we're closing in on half the season, and we still haven't figured it out. Let's see. Kyle Apgar says he was benched most of the time at Atalanta before coming here. Yeah, he was a bench player, usually kind of the 12th player kind of guy. First one to come on. Go against some tired legs. But let's see. Sam R says Ronnie Dyla makes me feel like I know more about soccer than he does, which is very sad. I mean, I don't know. There are obvious things, but coaching a team isn't easy. That's for damn sure. But I mean, it's like there have been many coaches that have come here and failed after Tata Martino. Hell, even Frank de Boer to a degree. Like, these problems are deep, deep rooted. Garrett says, it's so weird. Dyla plays players out of position constantly, aka Cobb, Miggy, Edwards, but refuses to move players like Moranchuk or Brooks until the last minutes. Well, Moranchuk did play the 8 today. And, or at least, he pretty much played the midfield with Fortune with Click. And yeah, it was kind of that, like we mentioned in the 5-Star Weekly episode, where it was that kind of melding between a 3-man back line and a 4-man back line, where Brooks Lennon pushes up, but then also tracks back. It was basically wing backs. And so, yeah, not I think in yesteryear, it looked like something that was fluid, that could have been a solution to some games. Obviously we did that in the playoffs in 2018 to pretty damn good effect, especially against the New York Red Bulls. But ultimately, I don't think you have as talented of a squad as that one. Because you look at that back line, you look at the midfield, it's just so much better than ours. Like, it's essentially, the squad is just not good enough. But from a standpoint, not only talent-wise, but also effort-wise, technical prowess, ability. It really just comes down to game awareness, to, also coaching. Like, top down, we're getting outclassed. Let's see, Victory 3.0. AJ, I listened to Shannon Sharp. I tried to inform you, and you thought he was attacking you when you were buying the narrative. These guys are being paid big money to deliver, and they are failing. What buying the narrative? What he was saying was that we weren't talking about the game enough. Those type of things. It seemed like more criticism of us versus the actual team. So, Jack Dickens, genuine question, AJ, as you have been, you have been attending games since the beginning. Is this the rock bottom? Because for me, it is. It is absolutely the rock bottom. There's, yeah, I am not smelling what this team is cooking. It smells like shit. It is absolute garbage. The fact that we have to subject ourselves to this is punishment in itself. And yeah, like the team, frankly, like that like 2 years ago, I think we were talking about like, oh, we were spoiled by this team. So, this team is absolutely being spoiled by its fans for years now. And when I said it then, I got lambasted. Because it was still true then. And that's the thing. When Frank de Boer said it, okay, there might have been a morsel of truth in it. But in reality, when your team has that many fans go to games, it's not this is something that the club is doing that is why there are so many fans. No. Atlanta buoyed the whole reputation. Because everybody thought it wouldn't work here. Fans are still going to the games. It's not like this is quote-unquote plastic like a lot of people said in the beginning that Atlanta United fans are. There is absolutely like a lack of plastic fans. Because if you see how many fans still go to games, but then if we're talking about narratives, where it's being touted around the league, like, oh yeah, it's still really well attended, and it is relatively to the rest of the league, and that's really where it is. The reputation of Atlanta United precedes what actually happens on the pitch. We're a superpower in MLS because of the fans. And I reiterate from previous things that I've said, this team has been mediocre or worse for longer than it's been good. And it's just like people in the club need to wake up. Michael Weiss says, Victory 3.0, are you Shannon Sharp's alt? Interesting. Kyle says, at least EL came to his teammate's defense. Nobody has a mean streak. I did like it, but you go to a certain point. And especially if you get yellow cards all the time, like, it's tough, man. Like, you need to stay on the pitch. But it's good that he did do that. Victory 3.0, you're not calling the performance unwatchable garbage. One second here. Once we get Nick in here, 1 second. Try to do this. Again, I'm not used to pressing these buttons, guys, so bear with me. But here we go. Look at this. Oh, hey. Boom, boom, boom. We've got Nick in the house. Not in the ATL in Chicago, but yes. Let's.
Right back there at Soldier Field.
Yes. Yep, indeed. How are you doing? What are your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts?
As I've said in the match day chat, I predicted a scoreless draw for this game. And boy, was I wrong, but not in the way I hoped. I saw zero charisma, zero talent, zero everything. I'm out of words at this point. I really am. I'm out of words.
Yeah.
As where are we going? What are we doing?
It's a very good question. That is the golden question. Is where are we going with this? Because yes, it is probably early to sack Ronnie Dyla, but
I agree.
Ultimately, change does need to happen. But what kind of change can happen? Because pretty much all of the variables have been identified and changed. What do you do? Like, it's... do you change the owner? No, you don't change the owner. So, like...
Well, no, I don't blame Uncle Arthur for this.
Right.
Not in the slightest bit. But I will tell you this, is that right before the match, Garth showed up, us supporters up there, being very nice and casual and thanking us for coming all the way up, and talked to us about how the weather's nice today, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, Chicago at this time of year, to have that nice of a day is actually, like, heaven sent, man. Like, that's...
It is windy out here. I would say the Windy City's living up to its reputation, especially inside that stadium. I was in the shade and it was so fucking cold.
Yeah.
You know, I picked the wrong day to wear shorts.
Well, it's also this, too. It's like...
inside the stadium.
Yeah, it looked like it affected the play a little bit because when we tried to go long, it was like the ball kind of died early on in the first half.
The wind was eating it up totally, yeah.
Yeah. And then when we were playing with it, with the wind, it seemed like it would carry it out to the byline. And it was just like, yeah, we can't win. We're not used to playing in the elements.
The downside of having a home stadium.
Exactly. Exactly.
Controlled environment.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, as far as I guess the vibes with the fans inside the stadium for Atl United. How many fans did you clock that actually went? How are they feeling before, and how are they feeling after?
Well, I've seen about 5 to 10 people I know from supporter groups. There are a few other Raymond fans wearing our kits. I spoke to a couple of them. They're just shaking their heads too. I mean, everyone's of the same opinion here. Everyone's tired of the gear and Chuck, that's for sure.
Especially after
But
today.
why is he still playing? Why is he still playing?
Yeah, it is a great question.
I quote my friend Tara. When we saw the starting 11, he's like, "Put him out." Oh.
It's a great question because for him, I mean, he's doing as much damage as he is for Atlanta United as for Chicago. Like he's obviously the penalty, like I said, is diabolical. What was your reaction when you saw it inside the stadium?
My heart hit the floor, and I saw it on the replay on the board, and I was like, "Yep." I'm surprised VAR didn't take more than I could look at it. It seems like they just kind of brushed it off and did a quick check complete on it, but you can't count on anything.
I mean, it was pretty stonewall. Pretty stonewall penalty. It's he had 2 cracks at it, so it's like he was trying to get his hand on it or arm, but either way, like dude was not shy about really making contact.
This guy learned to play soccer wherever.
Yep. We won't get into politics, but yep. Indeed. Let's read a little bit more of the chat while you're with us, and if you can mute, because the wind is. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Or do a push to talk because that wind is pretty heavy, but.
Oh yeah. Hang on just one moment.
All good. But Victory 3.0 says you're now calling the performance unwatchable garbage, which I said. Omri Marone is running all over the place like he never played before. What is his role without the ball? Why is he coming deep and not forward? I mean, basically, he is a forward. He's a second striker. So, he's trying to link some of the play, but largely that is Moranchuk's role. And, basically, his role is to roam, which is what he's the best at. And, I mean, let's be honest, when he and Joseph were in that 3-5-2, it worked out really well for us in 2018. But ultimately, still, there is yes, he's running all over the place. Do we need more quality from him? Yes, 100%. Because, it still is. It's a little bit chicken with his head cut off. But Nick, you have any thoughts on Almiron and his role?
He is just running all over the field. Like I said the last 3, he's running all over the field, trying to do everything. And it's not, one person can't supplant what the other 10 people are doing on the field. I mean, it's just another sign of what's broken with this side, with this team.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to have 11 players on the field, not 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah,
I really can't put it any other than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really there is an effort type of standpoint, which yes, like that's apparently and I think abundantly obvious is that he's one of the only ones, along with Manuel Atl, making runs, and especially like us on the counter, pitiful. Like we had, I count. I mean, really not that many, obviously, because yeah, it would have been better probably. But I think there were 2 counterattack chances, or at least in the build-up to a counterattack that it's almost like we were shy because we didn't have enough runners. We didn't have enough courageous players to make runs into the box. And yes, part of that is because you're playing a lot of defenders. So yeah. But it is also you're playing a lot of defenders because yeah, you're leaky in defense. So so it's like a catch-22, but it ultimately comes down to a system. And there is no system really. Like defensively, it's all over the shop. Attack-wise, there's no patterns of play. So then you just completely look like a team that isn't a team for one, but secondly, like what are we trying to do? What are we even trying to do? Previously, Tanner McLeod, who used to be on this channel, he wrote an article for Dirty South Soccer back in the day, and that was when Frank de Boer came in and he was like, we've lost our identity. We've not only lost our identity, like we are a completely different club. This isn't even Atl United anymore. Like it what are we even trying to do? Are we even trying to score? Like that's an honest question. Because there are moments where we just pass back. When we have a clear-cut counterattack opportunity. Nothing. So we don't play on the counter, and we can no longer play with possession or do anything with it. What are we trying to do?
It kept frustrating me throughout the match, seeing how we get the ball into the attacking third, the Chicago third, and it just get totally listless. Like I can't find any word for it than that. It just had zero. Thank you. A 0-0-0 drive, 0 on target, 0 everything.
Yeah, I mean it's basically. At this point, it is, it's pretty much goalkeeping training for Braguzan, and just he gets peppered, he lets them in, he keeps them out, but largely, it's just can Braguzan keep his head? Like that's really the game, and I don't know, like that's. It's not really a fun game for me. I feel like, and probably not for any fans, to just be watching Braguzan have to do all this work. And I mean, honestly, it is as well. Yes, there's moments that he's not quality, like we know this, but he is keeping some out where he at times maybe shouldn't due to his age, but. Yeah, Sam R says, if I were ELL, I'd be mad too. The team behind him, minus Miggy, is mostly buns. Yeah, to go from Middlesbrough to this, man, regret, I'm sure.
Yeah, notice how Middlesbrough fell down the table after he left.
Yeah.
Down to 10th place is where they finished.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, Middlesbrough fans were upset. But it also is like, like he unfortunately didn't really join a team that is actually fighting for trophies. His best chance probably was with Middlesbrough because they were fighting for the playoffs to actually get into the Premier League, which, man, I'm sure he's regretting that, unfortunately. That's just, man, I wish it was different, but it's just not the case. Victory 3.0 says Alexi could not have played the number 8. The screen is black with Fortune and Click in the midfield. I mean, that was the thing. You can play with 3/8. Who says you can't? But as far as, you know, the graphic in which it was shown before the game, 4-4-2, but obviously, like we saw, it melded into a 3-man as well at times. Maybe he was playing the 10 a little bit more, but I think there were a lot of moments where he played pretty deep. So, you know, it could have been a 3-5-2 where he is at the tip of the diamond, not diamond, but tip of the triangle in midfield. But it still is, yeah. I mean, he roamed a little bit at times, but ultimately, yeah. I think it becomes semantics of where he actually played or didn't play. He cost us the game. Yes, he got us back into the game with the own goal, but, I mean, we've seen how when we get scored on first, we don't come back.
Yeah, we fold. We totally fold every time.
Yeah, indeed. Sam R says, I blame the earthquake. Yeah, there apparently was one. If you went through it.
Now let's blame Mother Nature while we're at it. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly. Let's see what else we got here. Kyle says this is worse than when Gabriel Heinze period, as short as it was. Yeah, it is somehow. I mean, not in the team, at least for the vibes there, because yeah, apparently players were extremely unhappy with Heinze, but. Victory 3.0 says, Michael Weiss, no, not at all, but he knew what he was talking about. Okay. Kyle, this is so bad with World Cup soccer coming. It really is, to be fair. Yeah, it's a very bad advertisement for all of that. Disc B says, I was so upset to see Miranchuk starting, let alone at the wing position. WTF, get rid of Miranchuk and coach immediately. He wasn't starting at the wing position, but yes, either way. I think there would be, you know, it's semantics at this point. But, yeah, he played. He, again, cost us the game. But next question comes from, Victory 3.0. AJ, there will be a clear out in the summer. There will be a clear out in the summer. Hence, so many different starting 11. We just have to listen closely. I mean, there likely will be, but it also is this. Like, besides the slightly older players, we have a lot of homegrowns. So it's like, it's not going to be a massive clear out, per se. I mean, let's go through who might be cleared out, right? So it's like, you know, you have maybe Saba at this point, which is kind of sad, but it is like, yeah, you know, a player that probably is going to get pretty disgruntled if he's, you know, not starting. And, you know, while we're still losing. Miranchuk, if you can move him, but pretty hard to move him at this point. Maybe Tristan Muyamba. Maybe Bartosz Szlisz. I think Click, you can't really move him because you just brought him in. I mean, you can't really move any of the defenders because we don't really have that many defenders that can stay healthy anyway. I mean, Luis Abram, you can't give him away because his wages are too high. Like, I don't know. Like, it's feeling like we're kind of stuck with this roster a little bit. So, I mean, maybe Jamal Tiare. Maybe. I mean, Edwin Mosquera, yeah, absolutely. But, okay, so that's like 6-7 players. I doubt we're going to do a massive clear out. Because you have to bring in players too. So you have to clear out before you can bring in. I don't know. Seems unlikely. But Michael says, haha, victory. For some reason, I doubt that, but cheers. Disc Beast, ever since I saw Miranchuk's interview, I knew he doesn't have the winning mentality. He's the one that's too soft and may bring others down. Why does coach put him on a pedestal? Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's like when he first came, and then it's just like he's soft spoken, which is fine, but if that's buoyed by other players that are more vocal and can, but you also have Miggy, who's probably not the most vocal either, and then so you have two out of your three DPs who are, let's be real, like from a personality standpoint, a little meek. And then Emmanuel Atl, yes, fiery, a guy that absolutely wants to win at all costs, and clearly vocal. But I mean, two out of your three, like we all love Miggy, but it is like personality-wise, he's never been accused of being a fiery, rah rah, get everybody, on the same page type of player. Yes, he did that a little bit last match after he scored, but larger part, can't really accuse him of that. All right, let's see. Ronnie in his last interview, we have to do the same things all the time, so it's about consistency and also have the right players to play the way we want to play. Which, sure, he was also, though, gifted with a very expensive roster. Stormy Weather 21, a little late to the stream, but gross. Yep. Michael says, bro, we got beat by a team with a guy on it named Zinkernagel. Yep, exactly. Yep. It is every time, like, that player gets on the ball or something, or he wins a duel, and it's like, yep, that guy won the ball. Yeah, dang. That guy passed through us. Yep. It's rough. It's rough. But if he does well against any team, it's that's going to happen to every team that they play against. Okay, let's see. It's popping off between Michael and Victory, but so I won't get into it. But let's see. Oh yeah. Shannon is busy in Las Vegas courts these days. Yes, Shannon Sharp is, unfortunately. Or fortunately, who knows? We're not going to talk about an active legal
let's
case.
not get into that, please.
Yeah. But, by the way, also, Michael says, Chicago had 6 players out this game. We only had 1. Well, we had 2, but Stian Gregerson and Amador. So, yes, our defense has been makeshift the entire season. Victory 3.0 says, AJ, if that is his role, we will not win another game with him in the team. ATL is playing like a team in a hurry. They look anxious. It's okay to critique him. I assume you're talking about Miggy. I'm not sure. But either way, yes, the team is playing anxious. That's for sure. We're snatching at chances. We are not cool in front of goal. But also, I mean, when you go down early, the other team who hasn't really won at home, they're probably going to sit. And that they did. And that they dared us to play through them when they sat deep. And we are incapable, as we have shown time and time again. But, Victory says, pitiful on the counter because he's coming to the ball instead of running forward. Yeah, again, we just don't have enough runners running in behind. Saba is one of those players, but Dyla doesn't trust him right now for whatever reason. Maybe Saba's telling him off in practice or something. Who knows? And Moranchuk being soft-spoken, maybe he's not saying anything. This is all pontification, but, who knows at this point. Victory also says, no patterns of play, defensively all over the place, and you think the coach, after my screen goes, coach should stay. Can you give a reason why? I mean, the only reason why is that it's too early to make that decision from Garth Lagerwey's standpoint. I mean, but it also is this. From a coach standpoint, has any coach in the past 6 years made a difference? Like, these problems supersede him. It's not Dyla's fault that the club is highly flawed. But, yes, have we critiqued him in this match? Yeah, and it's like if it continues, if we are winless for another month, yeah, his head's probably gonna have to roll. But right now, at this standpoint, it's a little early. But you guys feel free to let me know what you guys think. These are my thoughts. This is a platform for the fans. It's not a platform for just AJ. But Victory says Sam R. Y minus Miggy. What did he do today to be excluded? Well, I mean, he's one of the few players actually trying, running, trying to move us forward. Yes, is he lacking some quality as well? Yes. We need Jamal. I don't know what he's really going to do. AJ, if you play with 3 8s out there would be no balance in midfield. If you're correct, maybe then that is why we lost. I mean, well, which one of those players is a number 6? I mean, Jay Fortune is probably the closest one. But he was starting out left wing. So, you know, it's, yeah, it kind of melded in between. Like, again, it was fluid. But if we want to go by what the formation looked like before the game started on the graphic, that's what that was. If you looked at it in the game, yeah, Fortune stepped in between in midfields at times, but then he was also on the left a bit. So it seemed pretty fluid. Michael says, I think this is a list of contracts who end in December: Edwin, Abram, Lennon, Guzan, Tiare, Click, Williams, Cohen, Fortune. And probably all of them should not get a new contract. I mean, except for Fortune, obviously. But, because I think, yeah, Fortune definitely deserves probably, you know, another look. He needs more playing time probably to prove himself. But, yep. Nick, you got a thought?
Yeah, about Raguzan. I never really got an answer in the Discord in the week prior week. Between him and Kai Kamara, who else in the league is active 40 years of age or older? I never got an answer to that question.
Well, I mean,
you know, Dave, you all know.
Yeah, I mean, it's, let's see. I believe Olivier Giroud is also 40 or close to it. Probably Hugo Lloris as well. Pretty freaking close. Marco Reus, I think, is in his 30s. Late 30s. Yeah, I mean, maybe Stefan Fry. I think he's still playing. It's been a minute.
He's a much better goalkeeper.
This is true. Yeah, Stephen Fry is 39. It's really close. But yeah, there's not many, to be fair. But Kyle says bring Thiago back. Yeah, he ain't going to do that. Sam R says victory. Here we go. I want 3 more Miggies in this team, whereas I want less of Click, Moranchuk, or any of our defenders. I mean, that's for sure. You know, it's like Miggy is producing. Like, like is it at an all-star level or, I mean, frankly, like high DP level? Arguable. So that's fair. Victor says, I wouldn't be surprised if Fortune wants to leave. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is that, but we might be able to offer him the most, probably. Sam R says, let's not leave out how we have EL and Miggy up top, but never go for the Route 1 option. I love Guzan, but his distribution has always been a liability. That's the thing. His distribution is still better than Cohen's, and as far as from a standpoint of in the league, I think you trust his distribution versus some of the other goalkeepers. But today, like we were mentioning, that wind really kind of made it difficult to actually play over the top. And also, they were pointing out that the ball was pretty bouncy on the pitch because it was pretty dry, probably due to the wind. Like, they can water the pitch all they want, but in Chicago, it's pretty dry.
Which they did. I can attest to that. You probably didn't see it on camera. They did water the pitch at the usual times they would.
Yeah. And so that's really where it is. It's like Chicago is a drier humidity type of state. And it's like, what can you do? Like, that's just nature there. And yeah, so you can't go Route 1, you can't play the ball on the ground. What do? Like, it's yeah, I think what you do is play like Chicago did a little bit. You pass and move, short passes, because you can actually move the ball quicker that way. Let's see. This screen is still going black. Okay. Stormy Weather says, has it ever actually been proven that we didn't actually receive Anton Branchuk? Yeah. It's often forgotten that he does have that twin, but yeah, inferior of a player somehow. But yeah, Kyle, the lack of players that can control the ball when played is nuts. That too. Yeah, the first touch from some of the players, pretty god awful. Like, it's yeah, like that doesn't really have much to do with the pitch per se, especially if the ball was in the air. Like, that's and unfortunately, I don't want to rag on Miggy like that, but it is the truth. Yeah, basically, at training, there was a ball that kicked up really high up in the air, and Miggy, he puts in the effort. He saw it. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna test my touch." It's a pretty bad touch, not gonna lie. He tried to, like, Miggy will be he's already obviously way better football player than I will ever be. But seeing that, I was like, oh. Like, his leg was halfway at his stomach trying to get that down. And it's like, shouldn't you be trying to get that closer to the ground and cushioning it? I don't know. It's I digress. But yeah, just bad touches everywhere, says Kyle. Yeah, we'll go back to this conversation. So Victory says, Sam R, can you tell us what Miggy did today to convince you need 3 more of him? This alleged Miggy, says Sam R. But, I mean, Nick, did you see enough from Miggy today to want 3 more of him? We'll put you on the pressure cooker here.
I don't know that I'd say 3 more of them. Maybe 1 to 2. I wouldn't say 3. We definitely need more players with his work ethic, his drive, his mentality. Yes. Not carbon copies, mind you. Individual players make individual contributions to the whole as a team, in my opinion. But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's this. It's, you see effort, you see fight, and you see some quality. Would I want 3 more of him? I mean, no. But yeah, it is that, like Nick's point, I think, is that you want to see more quality across the pitch where they can affect the game, much like the effort that Miggy does put in every single game. And to be fair, I mean, it's like Saba does put in that type of effort, but he has fallen out with Dyla. That much is clear. And yes, at times he does lack that quality. And it's, it is what that is at this point. John R. Payne, 26, being sick with this roster just shows how bad Garth did building this quote-unquote team.
Now, how much can we say Garth built this team? Let's be honest here. Because, and this has been a debate in all the chats, is how much of this is Boca, how much of this is Garth? So, I don't know if we know the absolute answer to this. Yeah. So let's be fair and let's be transparent here in how we analyze this.
Sure. I mean, it is, well, to analyze it a little bit, is that even from, Tristan Muyamba, Saba, that period was Garth Lagerwey. And so, those players maybe aren't starting week in, week out, but they are part of the fabric of the roster and how, we are trying to play in a bit. So a good number of these guys have come in the Garth Lagerwey era. Brooks Lennon, Ronald Hernandez, notwithstanding. The homegrowns, that's more on Carlos Bocanegra, which, to a degree, some of them are useful. And we'd like to see more of them. But, yeah, it's, I would hardly say it's like 50-50, Garth Lagerwey's. I think it's a little bit closer to like 60-70 Garth Lagerwey's squad. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, he comes, highly lauded, a lot of success in MLS. So far, we're calling it a spade. He's been underwhelming as the CEO of Atl Utd. Like, there's no other way around it. Like,
it's just mind-boggling what is going on here. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it truly is. But let's see. Kyle says, AJ is right. I keep yelling, take up the space and move forward. Yeah, there is no passing and moving. Like, it's like at times, sure, but like we definitely don't sustain it for 90 minutes, and that's part of the problem. Stormy Weather says, man, I miss Kenwin Jones. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're missing a lot of players. Yeah. I mean, yeah, even just like, yeah, Kenwin Jones, he scored off the bench. Yeah, I mean, it's like, as far as a backup striker goes, you could do a lot worse than Kenwin Jones. Victory says, Sam R., I cannot call him that affectionately, just isn't doing enough. He is Miguel Almiron. Kyle says, just play Brennan and the young guys. I mean, at this point, there is some validity to that to a degree. You've developed the younger, cheaper guys. If you really just cannot find enough effort from your squad right now to do enough in games to win games, at least develop the future to a degree. But Ronnie Della can't do that. Like, he was brought here to win games. He wasn't brought here to develop the youth and the homegrowns. So, it ain't going to happen. Like, as much as we want it to happen, unless Brennan is pulling up roots because he is doing so well in training that it's just like, man, okay, he has to play. And to be fair, there's some players that, maybe getting into that territory of, okay, maybe they should be playing. Like Derek Williams, Luis Abram. If we continue to leak goals like a Sev, well then, yeah, maybe you play Cobb and Morales. And you start seeing what they can do as a center back pair. And really start building for the future a little bit in that sense. But, I think there's still enough quality between Williams and Abram to a degree. It's just that it's a mess. It's just a mess. Let's see. Next question comes from Victory. It says, the way Ronnie want to play Jamal must... Screen keeps going black here. Sorry, guys. Must be in the team. He does have the energy to press and run behind, but that's the thing. He has the energy, but doesn't have the quality. Like, are you gonna play him over Emmanuel Atl? Like, I don't. It's like, because then, who's supplanting that position? I mean, maybe you put him on the left, so you get another goal scorer on the pitch. Maybe. Because then, yeah, you do have Togashi as a backup striker who can, spell some minutes. So maybe that is the case. Yeah. There is a sense that, yes, we do need to get more goal scorers on the pitch. But if you play two up top, I don't know. Like you already are conceding massive amounts of space in midfield. We're constantly outnumbered, even when we have three midfielders. Because our players don't move. But yeah, Victory says he does have the quality. No, play them together. It's just, again, like I just mentioned, it's like that's part of the reason why we not only concede the type of goals that we do, but it's also, we get overrun in midfield all the time. Like, you take another player out of there, it's just like we're exacerbating problems. Like, we almost need to overload our midfield first, then worry about the wide players. Almiron isn't defending. I mean, arguable. I think he tracks back. Whether he can win the ball off of, players win his duels, debatable. But Alexi definitely isn't. It's like you can count maybe 1 in 5 games, probably, roughly, that Alexi does something defensively. It's it's not a constant. It's not consistent. That's for sure. But we're running to about an hour now. But Nick, let us have your final thoughts.
I don't know where we go from here. I mean, but like you said earlier in the stream, this is pretty much rock bottom. Like I said at one point in Discord, we're heading wooden spoon territory here, and that says a lot. And we have to go even further down to get to that, because look out west and look at how Yellow Galaxy is playing. You talk about a collapse, but that's beside the point. If this listless play continues like this, we're going nowhere mighty fast, and even more fans are going to walk away. I mean, I sat there hoping the final whistle would be blown. I wanted it to end. I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't. Not with my team out on that pitch.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, and not when you make the trip to Chicago.
Yes.
Like you made the trip to Chicago, and you're like, man, I want this game to end. Like it's just as telling as.
Yeah, because I got other shit I gotta do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I gotta hop off because I got dinner plans at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. No, and I'm actually jealous because Chicago has one of the best foodie scenes, and I'm like, oh, yeah, enjoy yourself. You're gonna have a really great time in Chicago. So I am actually envious of that. So, but Nick, yeah, thank you so much as always, man. Pleasure. Safe travels. We'll speak to you soon.
Good day from the Windy City, everyone. Bye.
All right. So, yes, we have a forfeit that I need to do. So I will go ahead and do that because of the wheel of misfortune. But so yeah, the forfeit was had to wear a funny hat. So here we go. It's a shark. All right. Because, yeah, we had some options and whatnot, but I feel like we got sharked today. So, oh, I guess we get sharked every week by other teams. But, yeah, this is the forfeit. Drink it in, guys. But we would spin it again, but Michael isn't on the show, so, you know, I'm not spinning one of one. But, yeah, definitely next time it will probably almost forcibly have to be Mike because he wasn't on the stream, right? That's the consequence. Kyle says, if you had to predict when will the next W come? Oh, boy. Hopefully on Wednesday against Austin. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Victory. Nick, what did it cost you to attend the game in Chicago, travel, hotel, food? Oh, well, he left. But probably a decent coin. Minnesota's killing Miami 4-1. Yeah. Victory also says, wear that hat, or wear that every week for the rest of the season. You wear it well. Thanks. No, it's actually surprising that it actually fits because, yeah, this is a pretty massive noggin. Not that I have a big brain. It's more that it's just my head's huge. But so the very fact that it actually even fits at all is a miracle. But yeah, guys. I mean, I think we've talked about it. And yes, Atlanta United face Austin on Wednesday, so hopefully that is something that we can be a little bit more cheerful about. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'm all talked out now, so I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my night. Hopefully you guys do too. Thank you guys all for hanging out, lamenting this with us. It is somewhat torturous at times in terms of the games. So, you know, the very fact that you guys are here shows how passionate of a fan base we actually have. And yeah, I think again, the club is pretty spoiled by that. But guys, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you. Remember to, yeah, just be good to each other. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good rest of your night.